I love potions, their swirling colors, their strange smells, but most of all, the magic they hold.
One day, Professor Snape discovered a forgotten book. It spoke of a powerful potion, one that could grant the power of snakes.
Snakes have always fascinated me. Their sleek movements, their unblinking stare, their connection to ancient magic.
The potion, the book claimed, could create a bond so deep, a bond beyond any human connection. Snape, a man of solitude, felt a pull towards this extraordinary magic.
I brewed in secrecy, I whispered to my snakes, they seemed to understand.
His heart, usually cold and distant, felt a warmth. This warmth came only when he was with his snakes.
With every passing day, the whispers of the serpent grew louder in my ears, or was it my own desires taking a new shape?
Snape started changing. His eyes took on a reptilian gleam, his tongue flickered, tasting the air. His hands, once firm, felt cool and scaly.
I embraced the transformation. I saw it not as a curse, but as a gift, a path to power beyond my wildest dreams.
His classes became different. He spoke of snakes, their venom, their cunning. He praised Slytherin, the house of the serpent.
Students whispered in the corridors. They feared their once stern but human professor. I was now something else, something cold and sinister.
The potion, once a source of power, began to control him. The whispers in his mind grew stronger. He was no longer Severus Snape, the potions master. He was becoming something serpentine. Harry, Ron, and Hermione noticed the change in Snape. His voice sounded different, a low hiss laced with each word. His movements were swift, almost snake-like.
One evening we overheard a chilling whisper coming from the potions classroom. It was Snape, but his voice was distorted, filled with an eerie hiss.
Soon the castle will be mine. Hogwarts will be ruled by the serpent.
We exchanged worried glances. Something was terribly wrong.
We knew Snape had always been a bit of a mystery, but this was different. This was dangerous.
We decided to investigate. We owed it to Hogwarts to uncover the truth about Professor Snape.
The castle held its breath. Its stone walls, steeped in centuries of magic, felt the shift in Snape. The whispers of danger echoed in the empty corridors. Section 4. Confrontation in the dungeons. Professor Snape uncoils.
They found Snape in the dungeons.
His back was to them. He was chanting in a language they didn't understand. As they watched, horrified, he began to change. His body contorted, growing longer, scales rippling beneath his robes, his face elongated, taking on a distinctly serpentine appearance.
Professor Snape was gone, replaced by a monstrous creature, Professor Snake.
His eyes, now yellow and reptilian, fixed on the terrified students.
You dared to interfere?
We won't let you hurt anyone, Professor.
Harry said, his voice trembling slightly. He drew his wand, his heart pounding. Ron and Hermione followed suit, their faces pale but determined. The air crackled with tension. The battle was about to begin. The fate of Hogwarts, perhaps even the wizarding world, hung in the balance. Section 5. The power of friendship, breaking the serpent's spell.
Professor Snape lunged, his massive body slammed into the stone walls, echoing through the dungeons.
Harry, Ron, and Hermione scrambled to avoid his attacks. They cast spells, but none seemed to harm him. His scales deflected every jinx and hex.
Think, Harry, think. What's his weakness?
Hermione shouted, dodging a lash of the serpent's tail. Harry thought back to Snape's lessons, to the books he'd read. Snakes, he remembered, were vulnerable to cold. He quickly explained his plan to Ron and Hermione. Working together, they lured Professor Snape towards the coldest, dampest part of the dungeons. With a flick of their wands and a powerful incantation, they unleashed a wave of freezing air. Professor Snape hissed and thrashed, but it was too late. The cold enveloped him, encasing him in a cage of ice. His struggles weakened until he lay still, frozen and defeated. Section 6. A Cautionary Tale. The Perils of Obsession. Professor Snape, free from the serpent's hold, collapsed on the dungeon floor. He was weak, his mind still clouded from the potion's influence, but he was alive.
The potion, it promised power but it betrayed me.
Ashamed and remorseful, he could only whisper. Harry, Ron, and Hermione had saved their professor and Hogwarts. But the battle left a mark. They had seen the dangers of unchecked ambition, the seductive power of forbidden magic. They realized that even the most brilliant minds could be corrupted by obsession. The tale of Professor Snape became a cautionary tale at Hogwarts. A reminder that love, even for the most unusual creatures, must be tempered with wisdom and restraint. For obsession, like a venomous serpent, could easily poison the heart and mind.